Man, honestly, you wouldn't even believe it whenever I break this down to you. It's a simple ad. It's giving value with no call to action. No sign up for a webinar, no click the link below, just straight up value that people are then able to take, apply, and actually, benefit from before you ask for a dollar from them.
On this episode of the Rich Ad Poor Ad podcast, we have Damien Watts, founder and CEO of Infused Traffic Media. On this episode, you're going to learn how to run an ad campaign that gives value without a call to action. You're also going to learn how to not fall for the quote-unquote online guru lifestyle. And lastly, how to take advantage of Omni presence and not just sticking to the main revenue sources. This is a really great episode, y'all, so sit back, relax, and enjoy the show.
Welcome to another episode of the Rich Ad Poor Ad podcast. This is your host, Zach Johnson, and today I am with Mr. Damien Watts, founder, CEO of Infused Traffic Media, manages over $15 million a year in media spend, been doing it for 4 years. We met recently at Geek Out events here in Austin, Texas. Amazing media buyer, entrepreneur. He's figuring out the agency game. Works with some pretty big names in the influencer info space, such as Marcus Bernie, Nehemiah Davis, Joshua Crisp, Anthony Morrison, and others. So, Damien, man, welcome to the show.
Oh, man, Zach, pleasure to be here. Thanks for having me.
Yes. So tell everybody a little bit about what you're up to these days in the Infused Traffic Media side of things.
Well, to be completely transparent, I am going through a scaling phase. After a recent success story, we helped a client do $1 million in a day. And after that, it kind of turned a lot of heads. Went and posted into one of the bigger groups, ClickFunnels group, just a
screenshot. It was brag. It was a brag. Did you do a humble hashtag humble brag?
It was definitely a humble brag.
Or was it like a bless? Did you do hashtag bless? Which one did you do?
I think it was a mixture of both, honestly.
Okay. You're the worst.
Yeah, I honestly think it was a mixture of both. It wasn't from a showcase braggadocious standpoint. It came from more of a where this client started and how we got him to that $1 million day. It was kind of like a unicorn story. So to be in control of that entire process, it was a great sight to see, and it just made it very noticeable and very in my mind, it made it extremely possible that if you have a good offer, if you give a ton of value and you don't ask for things on the front end, there's some pretty incredible things that you can do in the online space.
Yeah, such as not getting banned in groups, right? So that's like the first amazing thing you can do. That's awesome. Well, congrats. That's like a huge accomplishment. So let's get into it, man. I want to know what's this rich ad that's responsible for $1 million a day launch? What's working now?
Man, honestly, you wouldn't even believe it whenever I break this down to you. It's a simple ad. It's giving value with no call to action. No sign up for a webinar, no click the link below, just straight up value that people are then able to take, apply, and actually, benefit from before you ask for a dollar from them.
It sounds like Frank Kern. What does he always say? He always says, I'm going to show you that I can help you by actually helping you. He says that like in all his ads.
So that's kind of the case scenario where we're seeing a formula that we're implementing across the board, and we're seeing amazing turnouts from a revenue standpoint. A ton of people are able to scale this way. And honestly, I think that the space is getting a little bit more sophisticated. So we've actually went from the live webinars, hour to an hour and a half, to these more of like a case study framework where it's more of 30 minutes. You're going after testimonials, you're going after a straight pitch, and it's just giving them, basically what they want versus boring them to death with your story and how you got to where you are.
I love it, man. I love it. So Tell everybody about how long you've been doing Geek Out. What brought you to that event, and why are you hanging out with these crazy people?
Oh man, honestly, man, I'm really, really good friends with Nick. And when I say friends, I mean like internet buddies. This is like our second time hanging out. But I do, outside of the agency, it was more of I help agencies with automation. Obviously, that's what my speak was about at Geek Out. And Nick was one of the agencies that we went in and kind of helped them out with back end, lead generation, things of that nature. So from there, going in and out of these individual Facebook groups, I'm communicating with him. He's communicating back with me. We make, a mutual bond. And from there, he's just like, dude, I got to get you on the Geek Out stage. No one's doing the type of things that you're doing at the level that you're doing it with the amount of people that you have on your team. So that's really what kind of started the conversations. And then, I ended up in Geek Out in Austin.
That's awesome, man. Yeah, you crushed it. I love it. So congrats on that. Nick Shackelford, shout out. Super cool. And so tell me more about what isn't working. I want to know your poor ad. I want to know something you thought you just were going to take money to the bank and put on black, and it totally bombed. Tell me. Lay it out there.
Man, honestly, it was an ad that we put a lot of thought into. It was more around the lifestyle, and it totally backfired. So people were in the comments, you don't have to have the Lambos. You don't have to do all this stuff to impress us, yada, yada, yada. So we were getting slammed in the comments, right? So I would say that that's probably the poorest ad that I've seen is whenever we try to go all in on lifestyle. Now, lifestyle images, those work, but when we try to do the lifestyle, like you can have this too, et cetera, that's when we see pretty bad performance and the trolls come out of nowhere.
That's amazing. All right. So describe this. What did you do and to what extent? There was Lambos involved. What else?
Honestly, it was more around the lines of showcasing the lifestyle that these entrepreneurs have. Basically walking out of the Lamborghini dealership. So it's like, hey, I'm at the Lamborghini. I want to say it was in Austin, honestly. I think it was, but hopped out of the Lamborghini, walked out of the store, basically just telling them, I worked at McDonald's, like giving them the whole story of how I went from this to that. And I thought that it would work because it sounds relatable. But again, a lot of people think that within this space, you're not actually making money from what you actually do and what you're trying to teach. You're making money from the courses themselves, right? So the whole guru play, like we went a little too hard on guru, and it definitely didn't work.
A little too hard on guru. It's funny because like that one line means so much, and I think everybody listening knows exactly.
Yeah, right.
Exactly what that means. All right. So, got that. Thank you for that. Let's talk about some financial principles. How have you gone about helping your clients manage their credit, their cash? Like, if you're ramping up a campaign to $1 million a day, you got to have some serious, lines dialed in to be able to ramp that up. Or do you just kind of stay out of it and you're like, I hope all goes well?
Honestly, man, we deal with a lot of accounts going down due to payment methods. So, on our end, really the only financial burden that I can give these people is to have multiple ad accounts, have multiple cards ready to go, and then just be on standby to quickly pay these things off. That's really the only advice that I can give. Obviously, you're the ad spend guy when it comes to the financial space. So for us, it's just staying ready at all times, having backup plans, multiple cards in the accounts. Most of these guys and people that we operate with, have 100 to 150 max limits on these Amex cards. So we're having to, just stay prepared at all given times and have multiple cards on the table.
That's good, man. multiple cards on the table. And then how many ad accounts typically per client? Just 2?
Typically, we don't like to go over. It really just depends. From a backup standpoint, with how volatile Facebook is, we typically have like 3 to 4 ad accounts per person that's, trying to spend big bucks. But for that, I would say that really the only thing that I can give these people is give more credit cards. Have them ready because we're going to spend it.
Yeah. Oh, that's awesome, man.
This episode is brought to you by Funnel Dash's Ad Card, the only charge card exclusively for your digital ad spend. And if you're an ad agency that manages 7 or even 8 figures a year in media and ad spend for your clients, and you're looking to double your profits over the next 6 to 12 months, then check out Ad Card. See, the typical agency model is this. You charge 10% of your spend, you make 10 to 20% margin at the end of the day. So that's really 1 to 2% of your client's spend that is profit in your business. The easiest way to double that is to really find a way to earn in that 1 to 2% cash back of the card that is on file of your client's ad account. And before Ad Card, what you had to do was invoice all your clients for their ad spend up front, which is really difficult on a cash flow basis and very difficult ask. And then you had to put the card on your own Amex or whatever card of choice to get that level of value back into your business. With Ad Card, it's entirely different and streamlined. You simply get your clients on Ad Card and make yourself the agency of record, and you'll get the cash back as long as you're managing the ad spend. It's a great way to double your profit without doing any additional work. Check it out at funneldash.com.
I love it. So tell everybody how we can support you and what you're up to next.
Honestly, I call it a hostile takeover. I'm on a hostile takeover mode right now. We're doing some pretty amazing things right now. I think that from a differentiator, from an ad agency, or someone who's going to come in and try to be what we like to call ourselves growth partners to these companies. I like to tell people they better watch out because I'm on a mission. I'm on a freaking mission to take over. Just because, again, like not a lot of people are taking advantage of omnipresence, right? So everyone's sticking to their main sources, whether it's YouTube, whether it's Facebook and Instagram only. Even with Nick and some of the other bigger agencies, I can kind of see people starting to shift towards it now. We've been doing it for so long; it's going to take a minute to catch up. So now, we're trying to take over and mix in the info product space with platforms like Snapchat and TikTok, kind of like we do for the e-commerce brands. And then just having that full system of email, SMS, messenger bots, we're giving them the entire experience. And right now we're moving into more of the organic side where we're going to be taking over their socials and just completely, all I need you to do is focus on content. So that's what we're headed for hostile takeover.
That's good, man. That's good. I love it. Hostile takeover, ready or not. But your sweet spot's going to be omni-channel. That's your strategy on the takeover.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's something that a lot of, again, like there's a ton of good advertisers, right? There's a ton of good people out there that are doing great things with their agencies. Again, what separates us is obviously, I feel like I got a pretty good Rolodex of clients. Obviously, we do some things internal for ourselves as well that, gives us a super great pitch of, we're not only doing it for other people, we're also doing it for ourselves. So we know what it feels like to lose money, make money, et cetera. And then from there, that omnipresence is just, it's key in today's age, especially with the tracking that's about to happen, all the issues that we're about to run into and face. You got to be in multiple places. And luckily, we have some great third-party assets that's going to give us the ability to keep that visibility.
I love it. Damien, thank you so much, man. You killed this podcast. I will definitely, I think everyone's staying away from the guru mode on the podcast. Everybody's taking tips on how to properly post up in Facebook groups with the humble brag and the case study. Don't get yourself banned. Stay safe out there, y'all. And congrats on $1 million a day. That's like something you could put on your resume when you go ever get a job again. Just kidding. Just kidding. All right, man. Thank you so much. Appreciate you.
All right, thanks for having me.
Thanks so much for listening to another episode of the Rich Ad Poor Ed podcast. If you're like me and listen to podcasts on the go ahead and subscribe on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, YouTube, and richadpoored.com/podcast. And if you absolutely love the show, go ahead and leave a review and a comment, share with a friend. If you do, take a copy, screenshot of it, email me, Zach@funneldash.com, show me you left a review, and I'll give you a free copy of the Rich Ad Poor Ed book. To learn more about the book, go to richadpoored.com. To leave a review, go to richadpoored.com/review. Thanks again.